Yeah, it is your boy Broken Manga bringing you another YouTube tutorial on how to do your own manga cover. Thank you guys for tuning in and checking out what I got going on today. So yeah, definitely hope your day has been going good or your week has been going good, and if it hasn't, I hope this is a place of solace where you can kind of calm your mind down and check out what I got going on. So as it says in the title, today we're gonna do manga covers or / comic book covers. But basically the cover art that you want people to see before they get into your story. So right now I'm gonna show you an example of one. For this particular series, Shinobi Ume, this may not be the actual, I would say this is more of a rough draft because I'm doing it right here on the spot, but I want to put more things into the actual character before the official manga cover for this particular manga, which is about shinobis, ninjas. Not like Naruto though. I mean, there's some similarity as far as things about pertaining to ninjas, but it's really more in depth of the culture. And I can only explain by saying, if you ever played Ghost of Tsushima and you've seen the culture of the samurai code, it's something in the lines of that. But anyway, so right now what we're doing is we're sketching up the first photo in the character. This particular character, I'm not gonna give you any details on it quite yet, but it's two characters, and these characters are somewhat connected. You notice the emblems that I have on their faces. But anyway, getting back on topic. So you start everything with pencil. You know, for some people use digital art, and like that's dope as well. But for people that just don't have all the resources to do all that, we're gonna start off with just your old school number 2 pencil. I like to use mechanical pencils, as you see. And I'm just sketching out what I want, a cool pose, and I'm gonna have a picture in the background, a profile picture of a character who complements the coloring that I'm gonna use, but he's also a major factor in the story at that point. I'm using the same pens. I'm gonna use those soon. But yeah, how you guys been, man? Oh yeah, before we get started any further, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and put on that notification bell and like and share with a friend. I always say share with a friend because you never know, my video could be that video that helps them get to the next level. Yeah. So I also want to apologize to you guys. I know you guys have been waiting. You know, I said I was going to do this every Wednesday, but some life came up, and you know, when life come up, it flips your plans upside down. So rather than pout about what life had done to me, I decided, you know what, let's just go and get it out there, you know. So it's finally here, you know. So a lot of these sketches and poses, like far as poses, a good thing to do is to look at your favorite anime, your favorite manga, favorite comic, but notice the different poses that they have. And even in real life, like today I was in Kohl's with my wife, and I noticed that the mannequins had different poses. Even though some had a typical hand on the hip pose showing off the clothing, there was one particular mannequin that like really caught my attention. And it was a mannequin, looked like maybe of a teenage boy, and he was on his tiptoes reaching out, and I thought that was pretty interesting. You know, I was like, man, that's a dope pose, because you know, he looks like he's alive. So like poses really help a picture come out, pops, doesn't look stiff. You know, we all start off drawing stiff, not everybody, but I know I started off with a lot of stiff pictures coming up trying to draw, and it wasn't until maybe 3rd grade, I don't know if it was my friend Jeremy Alexander or my friend Vincent Parker at that time period. I don't know which one it was, but I know that they were referencing a drawing from a picture. I think it was maybe Reptile, and the reference was just on. It showed me that I needed to move from the stick figure pictures because it wasn't perfect, but it was enough for me to indicate like, yo, that's Reptile from Mortal Kombat. So yeah, we're working on the inking right now, so I'm trying to, kind of speed it up. I got a new camera on the way, guys. I promise you, you're gonna love it. I spent money on it, and I'm just waiting for it to get here. Once I get my camera, man, these videos are gonna be lit. But until then, be patient with me. I'm trying to get it so you guys can see it at the best quality. I even scanned in some of the pictures so you guys can kind of see what's going on. But I feel like even my scanner, maybe I need to get a new scanner too, because I feel like the scanner doesn't give the picture justice. That sometimes it makes it brighter than what it really was. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So we're inking the feet, moving forward, and yeah, man. So to get into it, so one of the things you definitely need is a pencil to sketch out your idea. Then use your pen. Get you a pen. I would say, get you an expensive pen, or if you like to use G pens, you can get some ink and dip your G pen in there and ink your photos. Why? Because the ink, it makes the picture pop out even more, and it brings clarity to the picture. People see a sketch, and when I see sketches, I think of like a rough draft, like a paragraph. It's a rough draft. There's so many possibilities that you can go, but when you finally go over it with that ink, it concretes the path that you were trying to take. Markers, I'm also going to do a tutorial on water paint, because I noticed that a lot of guys use water paint with their covering, even like the artist that does the artwork for story, I think, and artwork for Demon Slayer. He doesn't necessarily always, if he even uses Copic markers, he somewhat uses looks like watercolor. So that's interesting. I have a friend who also uses that in her comic book style, her manga style. So I think it's really cool. So we're gonna dive into it, because I've been showing a lot of my tutorials. I have these markers, but we're about to move on to another level of doing stuff. Being original, being different. Yeah, we're almost done with the inking. Yeah. And another thing I always do, I do the photocopy shading. I mentioned that before, and time again. It's not mandatory. You do it how you want to do it, but I feel comfortable doing it because I feel like it helps. It helps. I don't necessarily have to always go to shading with my marker. I can kind of just go over it with a flat color, but it looks like I didn't. Yeah. It's a lot of gabbing right now, but man. So while you guys look at this, I'm just gonna kind of give you some little background. For the people who don't know, I'm also Broken Prodycal. Broken Prodycal. I'm a rap, hip hop, Christian hip hop artist. I do music. I have music out. You can Google my name. You can YouTube my name and see my music out there. Also, this was supposed to be Inktober, man. I didn't put out much content as I wanted to. I apologize. But in the event that you want to hear some new music, guess what? On the 30th of October, I decided I'm going to release a project that I've been working on with two other guys, Big Rated Balls and Bonus the Great. And it's going to be called BBB Mixtape. It drops October 30th. It'll be available on Daft Piff, Audio Mac, and I might put it on Spinrilla. It's gonna be that free dope music you can listen to before my actual album comes out. Even though this is not about my music, I'm gonna mention it because it's another platform that people can, if you've been paying attention, you've been hearing these beats playing over my artwork, and these are beats that are actually on the projects that I'm working on. So I feel like, if you were even just vibing with the beat, these are the full songs. Check it out. So I have that link up. Probably not after I release this, but once the mixtape come out, I'll go back and I'll paste the link to the respective site so you guys can check it out. I just dropped the CD. Did you hear that? Anyway, yeah. So man, and I apologize, man. I don't have the notebook paper that I had. I actually wrote down some names for these two guys, and I was supposed to like literally edit this video after doing it, but I got sidetracked and like I said, life. But if I can just give you persona of the character, the first guy is kind of like a ninja slash musician type of guy. You know, he has his big cloak, have all the ninja tools that you can expect, and he's just kind of really mysterious with his style. And the guy in the back, he's related to him. I'm not gonna reveal how they're related, but they're close in bloodline. And the one in the back, if you notice, he looks like he's afraid of him, and there's a good reason why. If you ever seen the story or heard the story of Naruto, you know that Neji and Hinata had history. Even though they were cousins, their fathers were twin brothers. I want to say that the idea of that kind of inspired the relationship between these two guys here. Yeah. So guys, if you're rocking with me right now, you're on the 11th minute. I just want to thank you, and also want to remind you, don't forget to subscribe, man. This is the thing that is absolutely necessary to build this channel. I need subscribers. I need genuine likes. I can go and pay YouTube or whoever to add likes, but I realize that I want real comments. So if you have comments or something to say, something you like or didn't like, comment it. All feedback is good feedback for me. Even if it's silly feedback, I still consider it. So now it looks like I'm done inking it, and I'm going into the photocopier part. So I'm photocopying all the creases, the wrinkles, the shadows. Yeah. Also, and this is kind of, maybe a little off topic, but if you guys have any anime or manga that you feel like, yo, you should check this out. Some of your characters remind me of this manga. You should check it out. Put it in the comment section. Let me know what's up. I recently been reading, what is it called? I gotta look at the book real quick. I Am Hero. I'm on the, Omnibus Volume 2. Gonna pick up 3 probably tomorrow and check it out. It's been really interesting just watching how he panels things out, man. It's like really dope, for a zombie manga. It's a survival. It's pretty dope. I love how the story is. I just love storytelling. Everybody has different styles of telling their stories, and you can tell the professionals from the news, man. I'm sorry, like I've looked at some independent mangas and guys who may not be on a higher caliber, and the artwork was dope, but I realized that it lacked in the area of storytelling. And storytelling, if any of you guys are familiar with Bakuman, the storytelling was more important than the actual art in the pictures, man. You would think like, yo, you got to be a dope artist to be a manga artist, but that's really not the truth, man. You got to be a dope storyteller, and then your art can complement your story, because if people not pulled to your story, your art is just gonna be what it is. It's just art. Like, oh yeah, it's cool to look at. I don't necessarily care for the story, but I like how the characters look. So always focus on your writing ability, man. Watch movies, pay attention to how things are played out. Me and my wife just rewatched Death Note. And man, we went through that series. We had watched the movie before, not the Netflix movie. We did watch that, but we watched the animated movie first, and then we watched the Netflix movie, and then we went back and watched the series. And just the art of storytelling, because like Hollywood just made it like a Final Destination type of movie, but actually going through the anime, man, it's like pretty dope. Just the storytelling, the characters like Yagami, him being smart but being very proud of who he was and trying to bring justice in his own way, versus L. And L was like very honorable and honest and weird, but brutally honest, man. And just his character and the way that he's told the story, it was like, man, this And it wasn't like it was a big Dragon Ball Z type of anime. It was about a notebook and them writing, like writing people names in a notebook and the way they portrayed it. Even like certain scenes where they had characters like writing down the names in a notebook and they were doing it viciously. It was like cool. The art of storytelling. You're like, man, that could be a boring scene in the wrong hands, but the way they did it, it was so epic with the camera views. So pay attention, even when you're watching movies, the camera views that people choose to express a story, because even that matters. Yeah. So we getting into coloring. I decided I wanted to make his cloak purple. More, I don't know, all these things are subject to change, but I made it purple to somewhat complement the colors. Um, originally he's a character that's in all black, but I made his cloak purple for the sake of the coloring in the picture. And you'll see a lot of improvisers like this. If you guys go back and check out like some of the art illustration books from like Musashi Kishimoto or Tite Kubo or even Akira Toriyama, the color schemes are intentional. It's not just because Goku has orange and blue on, I'm just gonna throw him on any set. Because it's an actual picture and a piece of art, they find different backgrounds. Like one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z pictures, and I posted up here. It's not a picture that I seen growing up watching Dragon Ball Z when I used to print out the pictures. It's actually one I didn't see until I actually bought the illustration book, and it's a picture of him with brown on, which it has another color. It does say it was another color, but the picture I like, he has like on this brown little jacket, and he's on top of a dragon. And the color scheme is so perfect. Like the brown, the red, and all that, it just really complemented each other. So whenever you color, make sure that you think about every aspect. Now that's, it varies in an anime. It matters in an anime, but also it varies because it's more like real life. Everything is not going to match. You're going to walk in backgrounds that don't necessarily match your clothing. But when it comes to like a picture, be mindful of your backgrounds. Be mindful of what's in the picture, what color is the item in the person's hand, how does it complement what's next to it. Pay attention to it. Just notice these things. These are some things I started doing back in maybe 2012. I started looking at Musashi Kishimoto's artwork and how like Naruto backgrounds would complement what was going on. He always had these cool poses with the kunai, but also I noticed that he'll have like, orange and green, they match. So he'll have like a green background with Naruto posing, but then if Gaara, for example, was in the picture with him, he'll make sure that he had Gaara leaning a certain way, with his hair being complemented by the green background because Gaara has red hair like Christmas. Play around with these colors. All I can say is play around with the colors, see what matches. A trick I used to actually do back when I was writing raps on my laptop back in 2002 when I was still in school, I noticed that when I wrote the words in certain fonts, if you highlight it, it'll give you like the opposing color or the matching color. That was, I don't know if it still does it, but that was just back in the G. And man, it would like it'll give me the opposing color, and that's kind of how I started matching stuff, even with clothes. I'm like, man, I know this matches with that because of this color scheme. Yeah. Be very experimental with your choices. As long as you understand the fundamentals, you're okay, and then freestyle from that point. And I really didn't understand it. Hope you guys didn't hear that. But anyway, I really didn't understand it. Growing up, I didn't understand it as much as I understand it now as an adult. Like, man, these things matter. Even with your characters, be intentional with your names. You can check out White Manga. He has a dope video about how to choose your character names. And like, go to him. I'm not gonna steal his idea on that. I think he had a lot to say on it that was cool. I'm just gonna say, be intentional. One thing I noticed that in the past when I was making characters, my wife would always ask me, what does his name mean? Her coming from a spiritual background, she would always be like, make sure you know what their name mean, because what if it means something that's so contradictory to what you want it to mean? Even though you made up a name, at the top of your head, like in Google Gaga. You don't know if that name has a meaning that means something that contradicts your character. And for most cases, it could be something you want if you're aiming for that. But for the most case, do the research. All anime characters do not have to have Japanese names. That's something that I learned as well. They don't have to have Japanese names. So, yeah. What else is there to tell you guys? Don't be afraid to be original. Don't be afraid to incorporate your story within your anime. This is one thing that I noticed that Musashi Kishimoto used to mention, that just keep it real. And what that means, like for example, Naruto is one of the realest animes that I've ever seen. There's many real animes, but what I mean is, as far as life, they incorporated the struggles of being a child that didn't have both parents. You see Naruto struggle trying to get affirmation from everybody, even if it was negative affirmation. He just wanted to be seen. And I see that even in my children. Like sometimes if they're trying to get my attention, they're trying to do things perfect or trying to do things bad, just to get my attention. So like, make it real. People can connect with the Naruto and Sasuke friendship to an extent. It was an extreme, because when it comes to friendship for me, most of the time I was more like Naruto. I would be pursuing people who did not want to pursue me, or I would pursue people who was moving on to different types of people, and it always puzzled me, like, why these guys don't want to be cool with me. And it wasn't because I did anything. It's just you outgrow people in some situation, and some people don't want to pull you down. I had to look at it like that. Even with me becoming a Christian, I realized that some people didn't want to disrespect me by some of the things that they entertain, not knowing that even though I'm Christian, I still go through life just like they go through life, and I navigate it in a different way. But it is what it is. I have no regrets. But yeah, Naruto and Sasuke's relationship, people could relate to it. I could relate to how Sasuke may have felt about Itachi to an extent, based on my relationship with my big brother. And my big brother was not like, he didn't kill off our family. He didn't do anything evil, but I admired him a lot, even more than my dad. And because of that, I can imagine how traumatic it was for Itachi to snatch himself away from Sasuke and paint himself as evil and try to manipulate Sasuke to hate him, just so he can avenge the village. You know what I'm saying? Just pulling all these strings, versus like the series ended with Itachi saying, I wish I would have just told you the truth, man. If I would have told you the truth, we could have figured it out together. So whatever you choose to do, man, just know I love you. And he left it at that. And that was real. That's real stuff. Real stuff that you can apply in real life, man, But keep your story real to you, I notice there's a lot of guys out there that they have stories, and I would listen to it, because like, I was at a season where I was like, man, yo, you got a dope story. I just feel like drawing something. It don't have to be my story. And some of the ideas were cool, but in the aspect of reality, I was like, man, this is I don't really feel it. They'd be so stuck on the technical stuff, like, yo, he's a cyborg with power. He can shoot lightning, and when people see him, they just go in awe. Be like, that's cool and all, but usually people want to know, like, how can we relate to that cyborg? For example, you like, if, that cyborg have a backstory, like, yo, he grew up in a good home, but he realized that he wasn't physically strong as his dad. So to increase his strength, he began to work on his body so he could be as strong as his dad, or even stronger. So he chose to study cybernetics. Small stuff like that. Bring it home. Because, like, for example, how many of you guys remember when Sonic was being made? Like when Sonic the Hedgehog was coming out. They had the first trailer, and the first trailer, everybody hated it. everybody disliked it that I knew. I know I disliked it. It was scary. It was creepy. They tried to make him look too much, too real, almost like lifelike to fit in our world, and we couldn't relate to it because what we related to was the Sonic we grew up with. If you was a 90s baby, I'm an 88 kid, so 80s baby, 90 kid, you remember Sonic. You remember how he looked. You remember the smart alecky look he had when you took too long to pick up the controller. You remember these things. And so to see it change, the people disconnected. So it was cool for the director to go back and say, yo, we're going to recalibrate this, man, because we spent a lot of money in this movie. And for people to already see the trailer and be displeased, let's change the look. And I think it was a perfect decision to make because it made the movie better. They changed the look. Sonic was the Sonic that we knew, and plus now we wanted to know his story. We didn't want to see a Sonic that we couldn't relate to, but we were like, okay, now that he looks like what I remember, now I want to hear his story, and it pulled us in. So overall, it was a dope movie, but yeah, this is not about the movie. We're supposed to be talking about comic book covers. So yeah, I'm coloring, man. I've done it numerous of times. So you color it. I'm using Copic markers. Well, actually, these are Artify markers mixed with Copic. Some of the I mix and match. Whichever one has the color I want, I use it. But yeah. That purple robe, man, looking like he off Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I'm saying? Blue eyes, white dragon. I just needed to say that. Haven't heard it in years. I just want to say it, man. Guys used to get it in a lunchroom over some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, bro. Yeah. So now we're gonna do the hair. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember the color of the hair, so I'm gonna have to watch it just like you watching it. Yeah, I chose gray. I think it has like silvery gray, almost like a platinum, the original idea for him. So that's pretty close to what I wanted. Yeah. So yeah. Another thing is, I was gonna break this down into 2 videos: the inking and then the coloring. And I probably like I'm gonna make a promise to myself to never wait so long to edit a video because you know, I'm trying to get my consistency down. I want you guys to check out the channel. But another thing is that you forget what the ideas I had for this video. Some of them leaked, and I don't remember some of them. And it's probably gonna hit me once I get to editing this and getting it ready for you guys. But I apologize again. I apologize 1,000 times for failing you guys, especially the guys that was waiting for it next week. But yeah. Gotta move on. So now I'm getting into the cloak of the guy behind this character. We're working on it. Like his background under his foot is actually the jacket of the person that's behind him. Yeah. And this is simple. You know, people have different ideas for art covers. I know that Kishimoto, his art covers, they're pretty simple, man. They're pretty simple. Even the new guy. Let me look at this book so I won't say his name wrong. The new guy is Mikio. Is that a girl or a boy? Mikio Ikimoto. Forgive me if I said that wrong. But it's simple, man. Like, most of the time, Naruto is a cool pose and then a white background. One of the coolest speed drawings that I seen was probably a couple years back when they was doing a speed drawing of Deidara and Sasuke, and it was actually a cover. As I got the book, like his artwork, I realized that was actually a manga cover that they were drawing. It was really simple, man. It doesn't have to be so complicated. Now, based on your style or your taste of art, you can make it as complicated as you want. I'm just giving you an example of how simple it can be. It can be as simple as just him in the front and the person in the back, but it should also tell a bit of a story. Like here, the sense of urgency is like, why is he looking behind? You know, the look that he has, he looks kind of somewhat disturbed, like, you know, like that guy again. Who is that guy? Or why is that guy? And the guy in the front is like, yo, I got this kunai, yo, and I got these tricks up my sleeve, and I can't be trusted. So yeah, you know, experiment with your style, man, and enjoy every bit of it. I enjoy coloring. It's soothing, and I like to see how it turns out, man. You know, and I'm gonna get into digital artwork as well. It's not something that I'm afraid to do. I know how to color digitally as well. I use Adobe Photoshop, but I might be trying out some new softwares because I'm getting a new computer and I'm getting a new setup, and I'm gonna let you guys see how it looks. Because most guys, you have a picture of how they room look, and you see where the mic is and where their art supplies and the mangas that they read and all that good stuff. I'm gonna have it for you. I'm in the midst of moving, so that's why too much. You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. So yeah. So I don't have any more things to say other than stay tuned for the next video. Trying to knock them out every other Wednesday or every other Wednesday. Whatever it is, I gotta get it together. Yes, make sure you have your notifications on so you can get an email or something letting you know that I got something new coming for you. Trying to look out for you guys. Also, if you've happened to have been following my music and got here, or you want to hear my music, look up Broken Prodycal on Instagram. I'm Prodycal is back. Also, I'm Broken Manga as well. Most importantly for this channel, I'm Broken Manga, where you can see my artwork. And if you want to hear my music, October 30th, BBB mixtape is coming out. It's dropping new fresh content. Yo, and Can't Break Even Notice Greatness. My album, which is finally done, will be here December 18th. That's a Friday. Yeah. But anyway, it's your boy Broken Manga. Thank you for checking it out, and you can stay and watch the finished work. I'll upload the final photo for you. And if this is your first time being here, don't be afraid to go through my videos and check out the old videos, man. They're all dope, all have good information, all relative to watch. Yeah, it's your boy Broken Manga, and I am
You're all going to die down here.
I see you ducking me. I see you leaving me. I see you ducking me. Girl, you leaving me. I see you ducking me. I see you leaving me. Leading me in the dark. Brown skin. You say I'm too light for you. You say it's not right to do. And this is not right to do. The moment I took it away, the moment you gave it right back, the moment you fell to your knees, oh God, oh God. understand why we been running. This passion running too deep. This life we living in the dark, and I'm praying God will free me.
I need an antidote. Desires wildin' like animals. Can't get transforming, no animals. I'm in the sin, I feel like a corpse. Hell is my highway, I'm in the Porsche. I am not Luke, but I feel the force. Pulling our bodies to intercourse. Hell doors on the cell floors. She runs down the death without a corridor. Red bottoms with her face contort. I thought I was living, but I walked into the morgue and saw a body lying down like, give me some more. Where's my integrity? It must be lost with the melody. I broke her heart like Bill Bellamy. My soul tied up like a felony. Who gon' free me from this eulogy? I pray to God to get through to me. Cause Satan using me, daily abusing me, daily accusing me. Cause all the foolery, judging the jury being silent. Go and sin no more, God reminds me. I'm catching this grace like a Heisman. You ain't gotta worry, I'ma have to be a wise man.
Brown skin. You say I'm too light for you. You say it's not right to do. And this is not right to do. The moment I took it away, the moment you gave it right back, the moment you fell on your knees, oh God. Darkness is coming. Oh my God, I don't understand why